Okay, so today we're really diving deep. We're tackling a figure, a legacy,
Hmm.
Raila Odinga. I mean, he's inescapable in Kenyan politics,
Yeah,
right?
you can't talk about Kenya without talking about Raila Odinga. Yeah,
But the question is, and this is what we're going to try to unpack today, is he a patriot or is there something else there?
right.
Because let's be honest, the source material we're looking at today, it's pretty scathing.
Mhm.
It doesn't hold back, basically accusing him of, well, using the whole system, using public support to
Yeah,
get ahead, to gain power, wealth for himself, for his family.
yeah. It paints a picture of a man who,
A real political operator, right?
exactly, leveraging public sentiment to ultimately benefit himself, even joining the ruling class that he was once fighting against.
It's like, talk about irony, right?
It's a bold accusation.
It is. And to really understand it, I think we have to go back
Absolutely.
before these accusations, before all of this.
Okay, so rewind the clock. Raila Odinga, he's not some newcomer to politics.
No.
This is a family affair. His father, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, major player in Kenya's fight for independence, became the country's first vice president.
Wow, so we're talking about legacy here.
Oh yeah, it's in the blood. And Raila himself, he really comes onto the scene in the 1990s. Kenya's under single-party rule, remember?
Right, right.
And he becomes a key figure in the movement to end that.
Really? So a champion for democracy.
Exactly. 1991, that one-party state is gone, thanks in part to his efforts. Paves the way for the multi-party democracy, free and fair elections that Kenya enjoys today.
Okay, so that's a pretty big deal. We're talking about someone who fought for democracy, but then you look at the source material and it's claiming this pattern of, like you said, opportunism.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how do we reconcile those two sides?
Yeah, it's a good question. Because
Yeah.
it's true, you look at Odinga's career, and it is marked by these really interesting, almost contradictory periods, right? Like times when he's this staunch opposition figure,
Yeah.
and then he'll make these strategic alliances with the very governments he was opposing.
Almost like he knows how to play the game on both sides.
Yeah, exactly. And a great example of this is, well, it has to be the 2007 elections, right? I mean, talk about tense. Accusations of rigging, violence erupting across the country.
Oh, I remember that. Everyone was on edge.
Right. And Odinga is a fierce critic of the government's handling of the whole thing. And then what happens? He becomes prime minister as part of this power-sharing deal.
Whoa. So wait, he goes from like chief critic to part of the government.
It was huge. And it really made people think, was this a true leader trying to stop the bloodshed, bring stability,
Right.
or was it just a power grab? And honestly, that debate still going on today.
That's wild. It's like, how do you even begin to untangle those motives? Right?
Exactly. It's a blurry line.
Eh?
And that's the thing about politics, about leadership. How much compromise is okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to make progress, I mean, where do you draw the line?
Right, because it's easy to just throw out those labels, patriot, opportunist, but the reality is always going to be
Oh, much more nuanced.
way more complicated, yeah. Honestly, I got to say, just going through all of this for our deep dive today, I'm realizing how tough it is to judge, really judge.
Yeah.
It's rarely black and white.
Never is, really. At the end of the day, we can look at the events, we can analyze, we can debate motivations,
Sure.
but it's up to each person to decide how much weight they're going to give to these accusations. You know?
Yeah.
But I think even more interesting is this question of, can you really make a difference, create lasting change in a system as complex as Kenya's without playing the game a little?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's something to think about.
Right? Food for thought.
The Kenyan Politrix. Follow us on YouTube and TikTok for more undisputed facts.